welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ellie. I am a wedding and senior photographer in the Chicago area, and I post videos that are helpful for photographers and for seniors and brides every Wednesday. So if you're not subscribed yet, you can subscribe down below. Everything that I'm talking about in today's video will be linked below. Today I am telling you guys all about the essentials that I bring to each wedding, including my lenses and camera bodies, as well as any just extra non-gear essentials. So my main camera bodies that I use 2 of each wedding day are my Canon 5D Mark IV camera bodies. And I love these bodies. I've shot on a bunch of different other Canon bodies before, and these are hands down my favorite. So I usually shoot with 2 of these each day, and obviously this one, and then I'm using the other one to film right now. So I love these bodies. I love the colors that they create and how fast they are and just the quality in general. In the beginning of each day, I start with my Canon 100mm macro lens. It's the 100mm 2.8 L series lens. So this lens is hands down the best macro lens for details, ring shots, anything that you need to be super tack sharp on. And I have used filters before and just regular lenses too. And this is definitely the only lens in my opinion that works for really good ring shots. And there are some on the screen right now, just examples. And I totally would not be able to achieve this look without this macro lens. So definitely a favorite. It's a bit of an investment, but it's totally worth it because it's just amazing. I'll also use this lens for ceremonies sometimes, just getting really close detail shots of holding hands or putting on the rings. The next lens that I think is super important, that I use a ton on wedding days, is my 50mm. So this is the Canon 50mm 1.2 L series lens, and another one that's super important to have. This might be the most important lens to have on a wedding day if you're starting out and looking at investing in lenses. So basically the 50mm looks like exactly what you're looking at with your eye. So it's the most realistic lens in my opinion, and it is just a good lens to have. It works in most situations. If you're in a tighter space, larger space, it has a good bokeh, and it's a pretty portrait lens. I use it for details too, for the whole invitation suite. A lot of times for getting ready shots too. It's just a really good lens to have, super versatile, and definitely needed on a wedding day. The next lens that is super important to have on a wedding day is a 35mm. So my 35mm is the Sigma 35 1.4 lens, and I love this lens. There's a lot of controversy on Sigma versus Canon, and I've never ever had a problem with Sigma lenses. I love my Sigma lenses, and they're always super tack sharp. Yeah, like I said, I've never had any issues with them. I'm not a huge fan of the 35 in general. I think it's super important for wide ceremony shots, wide reception shots, and then it's important to have if you're in a super small, like getting ready space or anything like that. But besides this, I don't use my 35 a ton for portraits or really at all, only for super wide shots. So I definitely will always bring it, and I'll definitely always use it a little bit during a wedding day, but it's not my essential favorite lens by any means. My last favorite, actually just my favorite in general, lens is my 85mm. So this is the Sigma 85mm 1.4 lens. Like I was saying before, I've never ever had an issue with Sigma, and I love my Sigma 85. This lens is super tack sharp, and I love the way it focuses. I love the creamy background that it gives, and this is my hands down, I will use this for portraits all day long. So I use this lens as much as I can during a wedding day. Sometimes it's not super realistic to be able to use this lens for the whole time, but if I can, I will always use it for portraits. I will sometimes use it for getting ready photos, And if it's a small enough bridal party, I'll use this lens for bridal party as well. I also love to use my 85mm for some reception photos for the first dances. I just think it's super intimate and it gives off a lot more emotion because the background's more blurred out. So yeah, this is my favorite lens. The next thing that is super essential for me to bring to every single wedding is my dual camera harness. So basically I'll attach some photos of what this looks like on, but it basically goes around this way, and I am able to have each of my cameras on me at all times, which is super nice. There's 2 little safety hooks just in case it were to bump onto anything or fall off one of the hooks. There's a backup one for safety purposes, which is super nice considering how much all this equipment costs. And yeah, so I wear this harness on me at all times during wedding days with both of my cameras on it, and I love it so much. I'll link this harness below. I actually got it from Etsy, and I really love it. I love the quality, and I personally don't think it's any different than the super expensive ones because I've tried those ones as well, and I really love this one. So I will link that below. So the next thing that's in my bag at all times is these B-Way memory card cases. So I have 3 of them. Each case holds 3 CF cards and then 6 SD cards. Both of my camera bodies shoot to 2 cards at each time. So they will shoot to a CF card and an SD card at one time. So I always have a ton of memory cards in this case, and then I'll just swap them out throughout the day as they get full. So I think these cases are super nice. They're waterproof, shockproof, and I just love them and I think they're awesome. So I will link those below as well. The next thing that's not super essential, but I love doing it, is bringing these little velvet ring boxes to weddings for photographing details. So I have a few different colors, mostly neutrals, just because I think it's better to have neutral ring boxes than like crazy colors, and I just think it looks really pretty in the detail photos. So I have a couple of them that I got from the Mrs. Box, and they are a bit of an investment, but I think they photograph really well. And then I also got a few ring boxes from Etsy. I will link those shops below along with which ones they are paired to. I think it's super important to bring these ring boxes for details, even if you just get the ones off of Etsy that are like less than $10. It really just adds some variety and some visual interest to your detail photos. The other thing that I bring for detail shots is just a regular wooden hanger. So sometimes brides don't think about having a special hanger for their wedding dress photos, and it'll just come on like the little plastic hanger that doesn't look super high-end and isn't super photogenic. So I just have this wooden hanger that I got off of Amazon, and I put that in the pocket of my camera bag and bring it to every wedding, just in case I need to have a little bit of a prettier hanger to hang the dress on. There's nothing worse than having a beautiful dress and then having it hang on a little plastic wire hanger. It's not super essential to have this. I just really enjoy it, and I think it's something that will ramp up your detail shots a little bit. So I have 2 different camera bags. One of them is the Kelly Moore, I don't know what the exact name is of it, but I will put it on the screen and then link it below. But this is just the canvas bag I carry on my shoulder during wedding days. It has 3 little slots for just lenses that I want to throw in there during the day, along with just side pockets and zippers. And it's just really nice to keep everything that I need in there during the day and just be able to have the lenses that I need right on my hip. The big camera bag that I keep all of my equipment in when I go to wedding days is the Think Tank Airport Advantage rolling suitcase bag. And this bag is massive, but I think it's super important. It's really reliable, really good quality, and it stores all of my lenses, both of my bodies and all of my cards in it. So that's really helpful. I love being able to pull that bag and then transfer the lenses I need into my smaller camera bag to use during the day. The other really nice thing about the Think Tank bag is that it is the perfect size for carry-on when you're flying on a plane. So I travel pretty regularly for weddings and sessions in general, and it's super nice to be able to have that bag with me and not have to check it at the airport and have it go in with the rest of the bags, because that would make me super nervous. The flashes I use are I don't even know how to pronounce the brand, but it starts with a Y, and link it below. I use the 4th generation ones of this flash. I got them on Amazon, and I think they work really well. I really like them. I don't use a ton of flash because it doesn't really match my style, but obviously I use them for receptions or for ceremonies, and if it's in a super dark space that allows flash. So they're definitely an essential for wedding days, but I don't use them very much, so I didn't invest in like super expensive flashes. I think these work super well. I just shoot in manual with them, and yeah, I think they're awesome. So that is all that I keep in my camera bag that I bring for weddings, and I know that's a ton of stuff, but I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up below and comment with any video suggestions that you'd like to see in the future. I will be coming at you each week, every Wednesday, with new videos, and I hope this was super helpful for you. Bye!